Assalamualaikum students and welcome to MLS Online Virtual Classroom. Today is going to be your fourth lesson for English Language Grade 7. Let's begin. The very first activity we have here is a speaking activity on page 14 of Oxford Discover 6. It says learn correcting someone. If you think someone has made a mistake, use polite expressions to correct him or her. Are you sure? Don't you mean? Actually, I think. Excuse me, but. Talk with your partner about one of these topics. Use polite expressions to correct each other. And the topics are bridges and tunnels. An example is being given where a boy and a girl is having a conversation. Let's see what they have to say. But before that, I want you to have the meaning of freight. Freight mean any cargo, goods, merchandise or any shipment. Alright? So the speaking activity is basically teaching us how not to be rude. If you want to correct someone, we can have the proper manners or the proper etiquette of doing that. Alright, so let's see what the example says. Girl, that bridge is probably used for freight trains. Boy, are you sure? Girl, yes, because it has train tracks on it. Boy, actually, I think it's a people's train. Boy, girl, don't you mean passenger train? Oh, right, thanks. Basically, people train is not a right word, passenger train is a right word, and passengers means travelers. So when we travel by a train, that's called a passenger train. And when we move things from one place to another through train, or when we send things in bulk quantity, in huge quantity, it's called a freight train or a cargo train. Alright, let's move to the next topic. A word study. Learn prefixes by and try. The prefix by means two and try means three. So students, prefixes are any words that are joined before another word. For example, if I say happy is a word, right? If I join un before happy, it becomes unhappy and the whole word is changed, and hence un is described as a prefix. Here we are using the prefix by or try. Let's see the examples. The rushing river bisects the valley, dividing it into two. Bisects mean dividing one thing into two. So basically the valley was being divided into two by a rushing river. And here a picture is being given to you. You can see the person is cutting the apple in such a way that it is being cut in the middle, and two equal parts are being formed by that. So we say the person is bisecting the apple. The man carried a tricolor flag of red, yellow and orange. As you can see, the cartoon here, the character here is having a tricolor flag of red, yellow and green. So tri means something which has three components. Tricolor means three colored. Listen and write by or try, then look up the words in the dictionary. Write a sentence for each word. The first is noculars. As you know, binoculars. So we have to write binoculars because it has two eyelets to it, and we use this to see far away things or places. Basically it zooms things, it magnifies things. Alright, it's called binocular. Second is lingual. So the person here is having two books which depicts that the person is bilingual, which means she can speak English as well as Chinese. So we say bilingual. The third being angular. As you can see, the picture has popped up. It has three shapes and three angles, and you all must know this is a triangular shape. The fourth being cycle. But which cycle? Let's see. This cycle has three tires. It's a tricycle. Okay, the same activity is being continued with more words. Dash color. As you can see, the flag is tricolored. Sixth is seps. You must know the name of this muscle, and it's called biceps. Alright, the muscle on the front side of the arm is called bicep. Here again we have cycle, and again this is a bicycle because it has two tires. And here we have three small children in a stroller, and when we have three children born at the same time to the same parent, we say these are triplets. So we use TRI as a prefix. Okay students, we're moving on to the next activity, but before that I must tell you that you should copy the words that we just did in your books and make a sentence of them in your loose sheets. The writing study. Learn paragraph breaks. A paragraph is a group of sentences about one idea. When you move on to a new idea, end or break the paragraph you're on and start a new one. Remember to indent your paragraphs. By organizing your writing in paragraphs, you tell readers when you are moving on to a new idea and allow them to think about what they have read. So basically two main points are shared in this paragraph. One is, when you write a paragraph, you have to talk about one idea. If you want to talk about two ideas, you can start another paragraph. Alright, for example, if we are writing a descriptive essay about our car, alright, so we begin from describing the exterior, the outside look of the car. So that is one idea, the exterior of the car. Alright, we describe that. Then we move on to the interior. So the interior is a different idea, so we start another paragraph. Alright, so we change the paragraph. Now we describe the interior of the car, and when we start the car and when we drive it, that's a whole new idea, so we change the paragraph again and we describe our driving experience in it. Apart from that, indenting. It says remember to indent your paragraph. What indenting means, I'll show you by the example. This is an example. The red arrow just below the example word is showing two finger space. The writer has left two finger space and then started his paragraph. This is called indenting. When you start another paragraph, you leave two finger space in the first line from the margin and then start writing. So in this order, the reader knows that another paragraph has started. Moving on to the E section. Some of the villagers began to nod. Soon they gathered around to study the plans grandfather drew. After that, the strongest men and women of Koi began to dig into the base of Eagle Mountain. Each year they dug, the opening of the tunnel reached farther. So this was an example of how the person explained two ideas into two different paragraphs. Then it says, write two short paragraphs about one of these topics. You have to write two short paragraphs about any of these three topics. First being a famous bridge or tunnel in your country. Second, your first memory of a bridge or tunnel. Or a description of your favorite bridge or tunnel. You can make it up from your own. It can be a fictional one, or you can write about an actual tunnel or bridge that is in our country or near your home, or that you went through, your first memory of it, or that you like, so you can describe it. Alright students, that was the end of lesson 4. I hope you have enjoyed, and remember to please note down the lessons we are doing in your books and make sentences and note them down in your loose sheets. You have to write the writing activity on your loose sheets. Till then, see you next time. Allah Hafiz.